Welcome, and thank you for joining me for the 11th step as we continue to explore the system of 12s. In this video, we will be looking at the dissolution phase of alchemy, Aquarius, the star card, and the Hebrew letter Tazadi. First, Paul Foster Case has a different take on dissolution than D.W. Huck. In Huck's 7 system, dissolution is the second stage. Here we have dissolution at the end, the 11th step. For D.W. Huck, dissolution involved dissolving the ashes of our substance with water. Paul Foster Case, however, changes the meaning to solution. He explains, solution is the process by which 2 or more substances are combined to form a single homogeneous mixture, usually a liquid, sometimes a solid. That is the meaning in ordinary chemistry, and it had a bearing upon the alchemical significance of the term, as has the mathematical definition of solution, the act or method of determining the answer to a problem, page 293. So for Case, this is the solution step, not so much the stage of dissolving. The solution, according to Paul Foster Case, of course, is actually meditation. Case explains that meditation is a cosmic process. Therefore, when we meditate, we simply enter into a stream of activity which is always continuing. By this I mean that the whole technique of meditation consists in getting personality out of the picture. Page 296. He explains further. Meditation reduces the appearances of the outer world to their inner essences. Thus it agrees with the chemical definition of solution, given in the first paragraph of this section on solution. Meditation is said, therefore, to be the means whereby we overcome the influence of the pairs of opposites. Page 299. So meditation, according to Paul Foster Case, is about uniting 2 opposites. Now this theme will go through all the different systems that we are examining. In the star card, we have the second tarot card of the Seeker. Here we have a woman standing on the sea and on the land, pouring 2 pitchers of water. One pitcher is falling on the land, dividing into 5 streams, representing the 5 senses in our conscious mind. The other pitcher is being poured into the ocean, which represents the subconscious. The woman is balancing the conscious and subconscious in this picture, uniting the 2 worlds. The star card, of course, is the tarot card key representing meditation. This balancing of the opposites, the divine masculine consciousness and the divine feminine subconscious, is one of the purposes of meditation. Now, in Joseph Campbell's material, we have the Master of 2 Worlds. He describes it this way. Freedom to pass back and forth across the world division, from the perspective of the apparitions of time to that of the casual deep and back, not contaminating the principles of the one with those of the other, is the talent of the Master. The cosmic dancer, declares Nietzsche, does not rest heavily in a single spot, but daily lightly turns and leaps from one position to another. It is possible to speak from only one point at a time, but that does not invalidate the insights of the rest. Page 196. Now this is one of the shortest chapters in the Hero's Journey book. Campbell mostly focuses on the disciples who saw the transfiguration of Christ, and Arjuna seeing Krishna in his divine forms in the Bhagavad Gita. He concludes, the meaning is very clear. It is the meaning of all religious practice. The individual, through prolonged psychological discipline, gives up completely all attachment to his personal limitations, idiosyncrasies, hopes, and fears, no longer resists the self-annihilation that prerequisite the rebirth and the realization of truth, and so becomes ripe at last for the great at-one-ment. His personal ambitions being totally dissolved, he no longer tries to live but willingly relaxes to whatever may come to pass in him. He becomes, that is to say, an anonymity. The law lives in him with his unreserved consent. Page 205. Now we can see the type of dissolution that Paul Foster Case was referring to here in Campbell's work. It's that point where the will of the individual dissolves into abiding by the will of the cosmos. Not my will, but thine, as the Bible says. Tazadi is a Hebrew letter that straddles 2 worlds. After all, in the esoteric tradition, it represents the fish hook. The fish hook exists in 2 worlds. It goes from the land into the water. The fish hook is the bridge that brings fish from the water to dry land. Our indigenous moon is Deep Snow Moon, and this is a time of extremes as well. While there is no outer growth in our readily seen world, under the snow the plants are growing down, preparing to burst forth above ground in the spring. So once again we have the seeming death above, while rapid growth is happening below. Finally, Aquarius is known as bridging two worlds. This is known as the zodiacal sign of the human, but at the same time, those who belong to the sign tend to be loners and outsiders. Step 11, then, is really about being able to straddle the inner and outer world, much like the woman in the star card. The method to go between the two states of being is meditation. In fact, through meditation, we dissolve the more crystallized aspects of ourself. I do think I prefer dissolution at the start of the alchemical process, to just reach meditation near the end. After a Kundalini awakening and other steps that can be experienced more smoothly seems odd. However, if we look to what Joseph Campbell described, this meditation is one that goes beyond the normal process. This is one that allows the person simply to be without any form of projection. So I think I will look at this dissolution step, which is really solution according to Paul Foster Case, as mastery of meditation. Now that seems out of reach for most people, but being a master of meditation is possible even for the common person. It just takes time and dedication. Meditation is simply placing the mind upon a subject. We have been placing our mind upon these systems of 12 for almost a year now, so I can say in a way that we have mastered it. Well, the 11th step is complete. We are now masters of our inner and outer worlds. It only took about a year and some dedication to arrive here. This was definitely a task of dedication. Now we have one more step to go. I'm looking forward to bringing you step 12, Pisces, and congealation in a few weeks. Bye for now.